Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Shri Harinam Prabhu ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much for coming to today's program. We are so lucky to have His Grace Harivamsa Prabhu here with us today. Harivamsa Prabhu is a graduate from PhD. He holds a master's and graduate degree from Stanford, and he was also an IIT graduate, an IIT topper. He's dabbled in entrepreneurship, academia, amongst many, many other fields. And now he has dedicated his life to residing in Vrindavan, where he studies Gaudiya literatures, translates, works with many of the Maharajas and other senior ISKCON devotees to really dive into the depths of what Bhakti Yoga has to say. So we are so grateful that Prabhu is here with us today. And maybe if it's okay, we can all come
Yeah,
a little
y'all
closer.
can come a little. Y'all can also come if you don't mind, but if you need the chair, you can even pull the chair, no?
Yeah.
That's, yeah. Thank you. I'm very honored and happy to be with you. I think I'm meeting several of you after almost a year. And thank you, Ayan, for giving this opportunity. And today I thought that we'll do some interactive discussion with Arisha being scribe here. We'll be talking about something which we have titled as Tree of Life. But before we begin there, let's consider the different analogies which have been used in our scriptures from the plant kingdom. Scriptures are, they teach us in several ways. Sometimes they tell us very directly, like almost like a teacher or a guru. Sometimes, like a lover, they will tell us little nudgingly. And sometimes, like an old grandma, they'll tell us stories and analogies. So from plant kingdom, we have several analogies, right? Can some of you think about some analogies from the plant kingdom which are used in Bhakti and the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita a lot? Any guesses? Any analogies which come to your mind? Go ahead.
To grow strong, you must dig your roots deep into the ground.
Okay, so roots, roots. So we talk about that your roots should be deeper. That's an analogy with the plant kingdom. What else? Okay, so the material world is an inverse reflection of the spiritual world. And how do they give the analogy? There's a banyan tree which is reflected on the surface of water, and what we see in the reflection is totally upside down. But that's unreal. How it's unreal? I mean, you can shake the water and you'll figure it out. It's not reality. What is the meaning of upside down? Whatever good we see there of the highest kind of gets reflected. So whatever is eternal there becomes temporary here. What else? So roots, banyan tree, what else?
The nature of the trees is to give fruits, whether you throw with the rocks or
Okay, so again trees. Okay, we'll be speaking a lot about trees, so more analogies other than trees. Water, how? Water for the roots, and water also like it flows. So one should not bother about the obstacles, and the water goes around and goes to the sea. So yeah. Okay, what else? Trinadapi sunichena. Like be humble than a blade of grass. Like people step on the grass and the grass gets up again to serve. Mm. That's called humility. Interestingly, there's a difference between humility and honesty. Humility means that was a proof. So humility means that there is substance inside, still the person thinks himself or herself to be lower. Why? Well, because he or she thinks that he or she is not the only person doing it. It's Krishna and other factors involved too. Very good. What else? One or two more? You forgot where the tree starts from. What's the origin of the tree? The seed. That's the analogy which all of us use many times. Bhakti Lata Bij. We are wandering in the universe from many, many lifetimes, and somehow or the other, we come in contact with a spiritual master, a spiritual teacher, a kind person who just transfers the whole bhakti kind of knowledge in the form of a seed in our heart. But it's still a seed. What do we have to do with the seed? Put water in the form of hearing and chanting. And what if we don't put water of hearing and chanting, but maybe also be unkind towards others? The seed will remain, but it will get covered with moss and weeds and things like that. The seed will remain. It is there. It will fructify in this life or the next life. But it depends on us whether we clean it up or put water. So there are many analogies. And there are many analogies by trees also. Prabhu gave so many examples. Inverted reflection of the banyan tree. Then watering the root of the tree would mean watering every other part of the tree, isn't it? And they give that similarity with our eating also, isn't it? We feed the stomach and it feeds all the parts of the body. Not like we give the gulab jamun from one hand to another hand. That doesn't work. That's second analogy about the tree. What we'll discuss today is not explicitly mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, but our different teachers have brought it out. And it's so amazing that it's applicable to kids, to teenagers, college goers, to even adults. It's a very unique concept called Tree of Life. Has anybody heard about it? Tree of Life? They give an example of Tree of Life somewhere in Saudi Arabia or Dubai. There's oasis out there, not oasis, there is desert out there, and a lone tree is growing up with strong branches and shade. And that vision is so amazing, right? Because there is nothing in the desert, yet a tree grows. How much sturdy it is. That tree is often called the Tree of Life. So this Tree of Life concept is given to us so that we can live sustainable life amidst difficulties. That's the Tree of Life. Now, before we go to Tree of Life, let's consider some pathological trees. You know the meaning of pathological, which means they're really not trees. Somehow or the other, they are growing up and they don't have much ecological utility. I mean, they don't do much to the ecology. It's just a matter of time they might dry up also. So first pathological tree is a long stem, long roots, and no shade and no fruit. So Arisha is drawing nice roots, a good shoot, and that's it. 2 hands like that. We see such trees often, right? When maybe due to some season or some disease also, the tree has gotten affected from, and there are no fruits and no shade. So there is not much ecological utility of the tree. Nobody can sit there and enjoy the shade, and nobody can enjoy and or partake of the fruits. So that's one pathological entity. Roots are good, shoots are good, and stem is good, but no fruits. All right? So remember this. What do you think could be a second sort of pathological tree? Which has a great shade, great fruit cover, strong, maybe good stem, but roots have gotten rotten. Like a bunch of roots, that's all. They are unable to hold up the ground also. What happens? Tree falls down. A mild or a strong gale force wind comes and done. And it's not only ecological utility, it can cause ecological harm also to people around, to houses around. Isn't it? So Arisha has really drawn good. She has drawn no roots here. Good cover, good branch, but no roots. So second pathological entity. Third we see around. It's like great roots, plumpy fruits like papaya or pumpkin, but it's a vine. Well, there is some utility here, but there's a problem here too. Can anybody guess the problem? The fruits are big, succulent. The roots are nice also, but there's a problem with its shoot being vine-like. What's the problem? Shade? Yeah, we don't get shade. We can't sit under them. It needs support, isn't it? It is dependent on another tree. There's lack of sense of independence and carrying it through, isn't it? So we saw 3 pathological types of trees. And what's happening here? One important aspect is missing. Either the fruits are missing, or the shoot is weak, or the roots are not strong. When we speak about tree of life, you can draw there, we are speaking about, we can see the trees around us. Sturdy trees, you can think about the redwood giant sequoia trees also. Big trees. I think around 30 people can stand around with holding hands, hands together and cover the circumference of the tree. Has anybody been to redwood? Huge, right? And naturally their roots are strong too, and they are intertwined also. What can we say about cover? Nice cover, isn't it? Sometimes the cover is so dense, the sunlight itself cannot come and reach the ground, isn't it? So that's the tree of life. What does it have? You can write at the top, fruits, stem, and roots. So this will be our discussion today. That just like this tree, which is of such a great ecological utility, we'll have sustainable and satisfying life if we have these 3 entities in our life. Let's begin with the topmost entity, which is fruits. What does fruits mean in our case? Not literally giving out fruits, What does fruits mean? The byproduct of? Okay, make it more general. Work, what else? Satisfaction, but see, our life has to be modeled around tree of life to be satisfied. So satisfaction will come in the end, and giving fruits is one way of being satisfied. What does fruits mean in our case? Healthy upbringing? No, it's the sense of giving. We are giving fruits to others. So what are we giving to others? Knowledge, okay. In general, service. So right there, societal contribution. Societal. to the society some contribution. And this is of paramount importance. Nowadays, have you seen, you must have seen in universities, colleges, schools, corporate, they have made an entity inbuilt giving to the society. Even I think Amazon also, there's something called Amazon Smile. Have you heard about it? Like giving to the corporate, tax exempt entities and things like that. Why? Because they have realized there is no end to selfishness. And only working for oneself will not give the satisfaction. It's almost a cliche, in giving we receive, but it's true. So, personal contribution, the societal contribution, which is in the sense of contributing to the society, is spoken by Krishna. See, Arjun is fighting the war. He's the main, you can say, forward player, or in cricket, he's the main striker for the Pandava army, and he's up against the Kaurava army. And he says, no, I will not fight, I'll not do anything. So Krishna tells him to think about in 4 steps. First, he says to him, you have to work anyway. You cannot not work. Let me repeat. You have to work anyway. You cannot not work. See, if we decide we'll not do anything, what do you have to do? At least to put the food in our mouth, the biofuel. This is a bio machine, so we have to put biofuel, isn't it? Isn't that a work? That's a work. So he's telling, not even for one moment, one cannot not work. So don't think about it. Second, he says, instead of doing somebody else's work perfectly, do your work imperfectly. That's fine. That appears to be a little, if you're able to do something perfectly, might as well do it. What is the thing about your work and my work? Any thoughts about it? Why does Krishna say, do your work imperfectly, instead of jumping and doing others' work perfectly? Why do you think? Not humility. Yes.
I can think of 2 different ways about this. One is that, in an organization, or let's say in an army, different people have different roles.
Ah.
A machine, different people, different roles. It's better for me to do my role for the bigger good of what society is up to achieve.
What's assigned to you?
What's assigned to me? Because, if everybody is doing it on their own, what I should want to do, then the thing don't work.
Things will fall apart. Good. What's assigned to you, we play our role, otherwise it will be a chaos. Cop starts playing the role of the doctor starts playing the role of a cop. Doesn't work. Secondly, the meaning of your work means that you are suited to it. You have interest in it. You have qualifications in it. Just because some difficulties come, you cannot say, I'm not do it. I'll do somebody else's job. Good. You might do it for 1 month or 1 year, and then again, what happens? You will start doubting it. So what will happen? You have lost what you were doing earlier, and what you are doing now, that's also not successful. It happens in life, right? Obstacles come, and sometimes you're jolted thinking that, like kids, somebody's doing mathematics, and then there's a problem which is unable to solve. Oh, I don't like mathematics. And let me do some other subject. But maybe this child is suited for mathematics, so he should persevere. He or she should persevere. So that's the second thing Krishna is telling. What is the first thing he told? You cannot not work. Second, he told, better to do your work imperfectly instead of jumping and thinking that you will do others' work perfectly. And third thing he tells, do as seva. What did he say? Do as seva, which means have some component in your work so that others are benefited. It's not only hoarding. in our when we would study in India, and there was a CBSE curriculum, and we used to have a story of a stingy rice merchant. And this rice merchant would start hoarding all the rice. He would not give it to any poor kids. He would basically not eat also. He would just hoard it in his godown, the warehouse, and one day a big bushel of rice just fell on him and gone. What happened? The rice was also there. He didn't enjoy also. Nobody else got benefited. What was the point? So, seva or service. How many of you have been to Vrindavan? Anybody? Heard about Vrindavan? So there is a place near Vrindavan called Barsana, which is the place of Radha Rani. Near Barsana, there's this lady, I think her name, she's German, and when she was 20 years of age, she came to Vrindavan just as a tourist. And as a tourist, she just fell in love with the land. And now for the last 40 years, her main occupation is? What's her main occupation? She shelters all the diseased, hurt, and sickly cows. See, taking care of okay cows is one thing, but taking care of sickly, old, and diseased cows lying on the street and maybe kind of oppressed by other people, and it's not easy to serve them. She was telling that how once she found a cow and the whole patch in her skin was filled with maggots. Maggots? There are those white insects, and left on their own, they can eat up the entire skin. So she cleaned with her own hand. 40 years. She is German. And then, of course, she got initiated, and her name is Sudevi Dasi. She got initiated by a great saint in Radha Kund. And after 40 years, Government of India recognized her service and awarded her, I think, Padma Shri, which is one of the greatest civilian awards. What is she getting out of it? No money. In fact, she has to shell out her own money sometimes. She has to sacrifice her sleep, but she might be getting something, a great satisfaction in the heart, which we call the feeling of love of God. Actually, love of God, the precursor to love of God, is the feeling that you are able to help others. So this is what Krishna is telling. You cannot not work. You have to work. Do your work even imperfectly, then others work perfectly. And third, do it as a matter of seva. At least some part of it. Otherwise, you won't be satisfied. Otherwise, because there is no end to accumulating for yourself, isn't it? One of my person who gives me little financial advice, he was telling me, it's very easy sometimes to earn money. Let me repeat. He says, it's very easy sometimes to earn money, but very difficult to give it for a good cause. And he was telling me stories about how many rich people left their body with hordes of money, which they could have spent during their lifetime on good cause. And sometimes, what happens? You can already guess. What happens when somebody leaves the body and hordes of money is there, unattended? What happens? Dispute. And especially in India, there are court cases running for years and years. So what happened? Person living could have done some good, isn't it? So this is societal contribution. We won't feel happy or satisfied unless we do something to others. And now we come to the fold of Krishna consciousness, as Srila Prabhupada has told us. Yes, we help others in terms of giving food and support, but we have to do one more thing. In fact, that's the most important thing, to give to others. What's that fruit which Prabhupada is asking us to share with others? Jiva Daya, the concern to others, specifically giving them Krishna conscious knowledge, so that somehow or the other they come in touch with holy name. Why did he do that, Why did Srila Prabhupada do this? That he gave such a importance to sharing holy name. Any guesses? Why he gave such an importance to sharing holy name? Of Krishna consciousness. Who told him?
When someone says the holy name Krishna, once Krishna pays attention to them.
That's true, but who told Prabhupada to do it? His guru. Which year was it? 1922. Now, people have studied history here. Anybody knows the year of World War I? There are history students here? No? No? Okay. We know about World War I, right? No? Oh, you're all great. No, okay. So World War I was a world war in which the world was involved. It ended in 1918. And as a result of it, what had happened, America decided a policy of sort of isolation. That we have enough problems here, we don't have to extend ourselves to others, so we'll be first fixing our problems. Now, in 1922, Bhakti Siddhanta, who is Guru of Prabhupada meets him, and you know what he tells him? You are in English, you're educated in English, you're an intelligent man, why don't you go to the West and preach in English language? And it was very shocking to Prabhupada. Why? Because India was independent or not at that time? It was under British rule. And Prabhupada was a Gandhian. Anybody heard this name, Gandhian? It's an adjective. Prabhupada was following Mahatma Gandhi. For 3 years, he was Gandhian. He was wearing khadi, this cloth, and he had torn off his degree from the college, that I won't have anything to do with British degree. He was studying in Scottish Church, right? Scottish Church College in Kolkata. Now, India is in like doldrums. And America doesn't want to hear anything from anybody in the world because it's following the policy of isolation. And anyway, in the West, they used to think that India is a land of snake charmers and all the crazy gods and goddesses. So just let's put ourselves in the feet of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is saying, how will they hear the message? Right? So what is Bhakti Siddhanta is telling Prabhupada? You can give so many fruits to other people, including that of independence, but one fruit is very important, which is Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada is arguing, who will hear to this message? So Bhakti Siddhanta said, everything will go up and down in the world. On a daily level, on a weekly level, on a monthly level, on an yearly level, and on a level of decades. Isn't it? What happened in 2020 in the world? Pandemic. Now, suppose we didn't know that the pandemic happened. As we are sitting here, would we guess that there was a pandemic in 2020? Things appear very normal. I mean, COVID hasn't left, a signature on our shirts and kurtas, right? Hey, I was here. There's no marker. Maybe there are marker antibodies in our bodies. But still, it appears normal. How much life has changed in just 5 years? Even on daily level, right? Sometimes we wake up, morose, as they say, right? Waking on the wrong side of the bed. And then of our friend, they encourage us, and then we become a little more bubbly. Whole day changes. These are the modes of nature. So, Bhakti Siddhanta is telling Prabhupada, anything can wait. Krishna consciousness cannot wait, because it's the only stable platform. If you build your house on an unstable platform, what will happen? Suddenly we will build the house, but it's better be built on stable platform. So what are the fruits you must give? Krishna consciousness. And what's the centrality of Krishna consciousness? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Holy name. Today we are celebrating Bhakti Vinod Thakur's disappearance day. He was the father and guru of Prabhupada's father. Prabhupada's guru, yeah. Prabhupada's guru is Bhakti Siddhanta. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was the father of Bhakti Siddhanta and also guru. And he would say there are only two things eternal in the world. Our soul, correct? And holy name. Right? Birds of same feather flock together, they say, right? So the eternal should better go along with the eternal. Eternal will not find satisfaction in the temporary, isn't it? It's very much logical. That's why Prabhupada said, take as much holy name as it is possible. On the beats or off the beats. Loudly, if you can, or we can mumble around, right? So this is the first aspect of the tree of life, fruits. And we all can try it, that when we are giving this divine knowledge to others centered on the holy name, we will feel satisfied. Isn't it? You all go on book distribution or even share knowledge with somebody. Krishna releases some mercy, which helps us feel more contented, collected, and satisfied. That's the fruit. Now, the fruit and the shade rests on the stem. What is that stem? We are able to give out to others. And that's an expression of love, right? We'll be able to do it only when we will feel loved. If we are an alone warrior, going on a chariot and distributing to the world, and there is nobody with whom we can share the success stories or the failure stories, and there is somebody back home, do you think it will last? It may not last. So the tree resembles, it's the trunk of meaningful relationships. What does it mean? It's a trunk of meaningful relationship. So fruit is the fruit of Krishna consciousness. The trunk is of Vaishnav Sangha, good association. Now I'll take you through a very interesting study. Have you heard of Harvard University? Yeah, it's where is it? Which place? Boston. Boston is the houses 23 universities at least, and Harvard is one of the top universities. In 1930s, they started thinking, we should study some bunch of humans and see what decisions they make in life and whether they are successful or not. That's a study, right? I mean, you cannot make theorems that, okay, if you take A and you will be successful. No, you have to see. Just imagine, right? All of us, somebody's observing us for 20 years, what choices they make and what they achieve. It will be a good study. So what did they do in 1930s? They got a bunch of sophomores, sophomores, second year students, and started observing them, what all decisions they make in life, and whether they went down in their life, whether they were happy, or whether they, they troubled others, they created a social nuisance, right? All sorts of possibilities. So first only men were involved. Then women were also involved. Some people signed out, some people signed in, And this happened for 80 years. 80 years. 1930s to almost 2010, right? It is still going on. This is called the Harvard Grant Study. What's called? Harvard Grant Study. They derived lot of conclusions, and we don't have time for all of them, but two things I would like to mention which are revolutionary. First thing, what is the biggest destroyer in somebody's life? Of course, right? They had studied people, so they could figure out what element destroyed the life of a person royally. And second, what enabled or made the person satisfied royally. So let's take the negative part first. What do you think could be one element as a conclusion of Harvard Grant Study which destroyed somebody's life? Yes? Guesses? Wrong relationships, because I was speaking about relationships. Okay, what else? You are also seeing the society around you, so you can. Addictions, good. Okay, so let's hone down to addictions. Which particular addiction? So they studied all sorts of addictions, right? I think mobile was not there at that time, so but he says drugs. What else? TV. What else? You said novel? TV. Okay. Okay. Well, I think TV was there, but it was like a big bazooka TV. You can't move it around. And only few channels would come. Any other guesses? Video games? I think video games came a little later. Alcohol. That was the conclusion. Addiction to alcohol was the biggest destructor in somebody's life. Why? Because it makes, as they say in Sanskrit, unmat. Mat means mad, unmat means really mad. So what will happen? The person forgets his or her own entity and forgets the entity of others too. So why it was biggest destroyer? Not only one's life, but others' life also. And interestingly, it all started with one glass out of peer pressure. So it was kind of an acquired taste. Acquired taste? I mean, you really don't like it, but after a while you start liking it. Many people have that with coffee, a black coffee. Now they studied what is the biggest success enabler in somebody's life. So what is the biggest destroyer was the alcoholism, addiction to it. Biggest destructor, biggest enabler, what do you think? It should be easy because I'm talking about it. Good relationship, friendships. Now, friendship here doesn't mean I have 1,000 on my social media, because that's really not friendship. So now can you do the thing? They call circles of friendship. Actually, the best way to understand is, Krishna's life. We see from Bhagavatam how Krishna takes lunch with his friends. And Prabhupada would often say, I just want to go near Krishna and eat the laddus in his lunchbox. So Krishna's lunch pastime would be he's sitting in the middle and all his friends are sitting around him. You know the names of his friends? Okay, Madhu Mangal, then Sudama, Sridama, Subal, Bhadrasen, Varuthap, Balram, so many friends. 8 friends, 16 friends, then 32, then 64, then 1 kilobyte, then 1 megabyte. So many friends, infinite friends. And Krishna was coming from a kingly family, right? His father is Nanda Maharaj, is king of Nandagram. and Mother Yashoda is the queen. So they would give a nice hefty lunch box with all the items and kachoris. But some of the friends, they were from, humble cowherd families, so they will come with roti and sabji like that. So Krishna would share with them all his goodies. And here is an interesting exchange which is happening. He will give them dahi. You know dahi? It's called yogurt here, or dadhi. And all the cowherds boys will say that today dahi is extra sweet. It was not sweeter when we ate in our home, but it is extra sweet today. Why do you think it would be the case? Because Krishna ate it. So now Krishna is enacting the pastime not as a lord, but as a friend. Jai Jai Shri Gaurnitai ki Jai, Shri Radha Neela Madhav ki Jai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki Jai, Shri Shri Ram Lakshman Hanuman Sita Maiya ki Jai, Narsimhadev Bhagwan ki Jai. We have a huge family here. So Krishna he's not acting as a lord. This is very important. When Krishna comes, he enacts the pastimes just like an ordinary human being. So what he's doing? He's eating the dahi also and giving. So what happens when Lord eats something and gives? What it becomes? It becomes prasad. And it's extra sweet. But that's not the end of the story. His 3 friends come running. Now remember these names. Tanasukha, Ghanasukha, and Manasukha. Who all are they? Tanasukha, Ghanasukha, Manasukha. Now, as their names are, they are totally opposite of it. Tanasukha means, Tan means body. Sukha means happy in the body, means plump and stout. But Tansukha is thin like that tree which Arisha drew. Okay, Dhanasukha means one who is happy in the wealth, but he was poor. And Manasukha means one who is always contented in the mind, but he was not. Why? Who is Manasukha? Do you know other name of Manasukha? Madhumangal. And Madhumangal is very famous for not being contented anywhere. He changes his party from Radharani's party to Krishna's party, where he would get the extra goodies. So you know what Krishna did? Krishna was feeding the dahi from his hand, right? But these friends came running. We didn't get any dahi. We didn't get any yogurt. So you know what Krishna did? And this is immortalized in a Braj song also, which perhaps maybe I'll sing some other time. You know what Krishna did? He said, okay, come. 1, 2, 3. Then Tanasukha, you lick 1 finger. Ghanasukha, you lick another finger. Manasukha, you lick the 3rd finger. Now this is really bewildering to the gods. They are sophisticated in the heaven. How can Krishna first of all share what he's eating with others, and then having those who have not been fed lick his fingers? Let's not do it. But Krishna is indicating to us the importance of his friendship. So much so, then when the great demon Aghasur came into Vrindavan, the friends knew that this Aghasur has opened its mouth and it's appearing like a big mountain cave, but it's actually a snake. So this laughing, chalo, let's go inside. Anyway, Krishna is there, he'll protect us. So what happened? They had a sense of protection in the association, right? That's what we are indicating, the trunk of the tree of life. The fruit meant sharing the service, and especially what service? Krishna consciousness. Trunk means meaningful relationship. Not only the modern science is indicating, but Krishna's life also. Because a meaningful relationship is not what we'll feel. I'm a loner. I don't feel loved. So why should I extend love to others? It will be an empty well, right? The well should get replenished. Have you seen some wells in India? You and maybe in other parts of the world also, the more water you draw, they start getting filled up, replenished. Sometimes when they do the what they call the refurbishing you do with the apple thing. I mean, you do what you called? It's called punaruddhar, jeenoddhar. Something is broken, you mend it. So they somehow put these slabs at the source of the well. And what happens? You start drawing out water, but it does not get replenished. It dries up. And it becomes murky. The water becomes sandstill. So unless we are receiving love from others, we won't feel impetus to share with others, isn't it? That's why association friendship is so important, isn't it? And that's the healthy tree. See, society is not built by corporates. Society is built by families and communities, isn't it? That's why now corporates and universities are also using the term community. Have you heard that? UW, community. Stanford, community. Microsoft, community. Where is this word coming from? Because unless there is a sense of community, you won't feel the impetus to share because you are not feeling replenished. So this is the, okay, yeah. So here only, this, sorry, I'm bugging Arisha. Now what kind of friendship? There are circles of friendship. The outermost circle are like thousands of people which are there on your social media, right? Maybe, I don't know. Some people have millions now, correct? And then when it reaches some point, you get a placard also, right? Reached 100K and 200K, isn't it? But that kind of crowd doesn't have heart-to-heart relationship, right? Thousands and millions of people, those are more like followers, right? You can write 1,000 here, somewhere on the circumference. 1,000, no, not 1,000, yeah, 1,000 is fine. 1,000. Then there is an inner circle of maybe around, let's say 50. Or, yeah, 50. Not 50, 150, hundreds, thousands, hundreds. These are the people, maybe you have a high-hello relationship, somewhere in a span of 5 to 10 years. Oh, you graduated, congratulations, that's it, end. Hundreds. Still, that is not giving us the kick of love, right? Then there is a further inner circle which is of tens, maybe 50s, like that. These are the birthday friends. You invite them on the most important occasions, right? Generally, it should be around 40, 50, otherwise there won't be any fun, isn't it? So, more closer. So, thousands, hundreds, tens. And then there are the few. We call it mandala. You can write a circle and just write fews. These can be 2 people, 3 people, maybe 1 in our family. And this we call mandala, with whom we have heart-to-heart relationships. They accept us as we are, and we accept them as they are, you know. It's thick relationship. And this is what is the meaning of what we imply by meaningful relationship, which this Harvard Grant study indicated. See, Krishna can have meaningful relationship with thousands and millions. Why? Because he's in the heart as Paramatma. Yeah, he's expanded. And he is Krishna after all. We are limited. And that's the mistake sometimes we do. We calculate our sources of love with the thousands and thousands of numbers of friends we have on social media. But that doesn't give us happiness, isn't it? Few. So we have to target on that few, and that few meaningful relationship builds the trunk of our life. Now, we have talked about fruits, we have talked about trunk. But will the tree survive if, like Arisha drew this second tree, great fruits, green cover, and a trunk, no roots? A wind will come and it will topple, not only damage itself, but damage the car standing nearby. So what is the foundation on which the tree is surviving? Roots. That's why in Bhagavatam it is said, you don't have to water every leaf, but you have to water the root and you are done. What does root signify in our life? Guesses? Huh? Values. What else? Bhakti, sadhana. What else? Knowledge. Okay. What else? Everybody is giving sagacious answer, but a little down to earth. Can we do anything if our body is wobbly? What happens when we are feverish or something? We are lying in the bed, and even if our dear one comes and gives medicine, okay, I'll take it, you go away. I mean, we are in a different state of mind, right? When we are not healthy, it's very difficult to assume that our relationship with, in that phase of life, it's very difficult. And fruits, I mean, our body is tumbling down. How can we go and extend fruits? So, she has written societal contribution. Societal, what did you write? Contribution for the fruits. You can write for the trunk of the tree, social connection, okay? And for the roots, it is personal development. We have to take care of ourselves first. How? First is health. Okay? Because if health is not there, we can't do anything. Okay? Health means both physical health and mental health. Physical health means we take care of our bodies. If we are young, better follow what our parents are telling us. If we are in colleges, then just don't go after free food calendars. Free food calendars? Every college has something called free food calendar, which tells you where, okay, everybody's smiling. I think college-going people will know that. Like in Vrindavan, we have also a calendar of where there is a bhandara. The bhandara, which is like free food. There is one bhandara called the slip bhandara and other called the jhara bhandara. Slip bhandara means coupon bhandara. In the coupon, bhandara means the communal kitchen, you will get a coupon. If you don't have the coupon, you cannot enter. But jhara bhandara means no invitation. Anybody can enter. So the sadhus there also make their calendar on which day, where the free food would be distributed. And seasoned sadhus know it's not generally healthy because it's all, heavy puris and things like that. And after a while, I've seen sadhus, they'll say, okay, don't give me puri. I have enough of puris. So health is important. If you are young, follow the advice of our parents. If you are on our own, then at least follow some diet. Mentally also, which means let's not put ourselves in an environment which is too stressing. Rupa Goswami tells it, let's not be miserable in our day-to-day dealings also. Because if we are miserable in our day-to-day dealings, we can't even think about Krishna consciousness. Vyavharepi karpanyam. Stunted thinking, always trying to calculate and being in stressful situations in life, that's not important. That will be detrimental. And third thing is, first is health, physical health, second is mental health, third is spiritual health. See, this whole edifice of tree is built so that we can have meaningful relationship with devotees and give out fruits to the world, right? What is the base? The base is, am I feeling Krishna conscious deep inside my heart? Isn't it? Prabhupada would say, our teachers would say, you can't give what you don't have. How do we develop the spiritual health? By sadhana, isn't it? So that's the most important root in this chain of roots, the root of our sadhana. And it is realized by devotees that if our sadhana is weak, then our relationships will tumble also. Why? Because we'll start seeing the corners of others. Aji, he is too angry, or she doesn't, she takes exception to everything. We start focusing the material things. And what about the fruits? We'll start giving out fake fruits. We'll keep the real fruits with us and give away. Instead of distributing books, we'll distribute something else. Isn't it? And then what it will do? It will create a bad impression, and the opportunity which was provided to us, we have wasted it away. All because the root was, maybe, it got some disease, some fungal disease. So this is our tree of life. The roots imply good personal development, which means physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. On it, now we are going from bottom to top, right? We started from top to bottom, now from bottom to top. On it rests the trunk. What does trunk mean? Relationship, Vaishnav Sangha. So you all are in different age groups, and it cannot be repeated enough that how much association is important, and especially developing thick relationship in association. And on this trunk of relationship will rest what? The shady, the leaves, the glistening leaves of the tree, and succulent fruits. Fruits of what? Fruits of help and kindness, but most importantly, Krishna consciousness, which is centered around giving what? Holy name, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Thank you very much. And we can take now questions, comments, and also reflections. What stuck with you? How would you apply it? Anything which comes into your mind. And this was the biggest challenge for me. I have from the audience range here from maybe 6-7 years of age, 8 years of age, to all the way to perhaps 60-70 also. So, well, this is the audience which is present. People say that whenever Krishna conscious discussion happens, even the gods are present, and they are ageless. So 8 to maybe millions of years old sages. Please share. And thanks to Arisha, she had wonderfully drawn and written everything. Yes. Questions, comments, thoughts? Go ahead.
When we can sense the physical and mental development, how do we evaluate our spiritual development?
The spiritual growth will be first assessed through our behavior with others. If there was a meter called kindness meter, or seeing everybody equally meter, kindness meter, equality meter, if our sadhana goes down, they go significantly down. We start becoming less kind towards others. Why? Because when our sadhana is weak, we treat others on material platform and not spiritual platform. Then we create borders between us and them. And what happens when we create borders between us and them? We become inferior? No, we become superior, right? So we'll not treat others with kindness. This is the first barometer we should check. And with ourselves, what will happen? That there will be a sense of incompleteness. There will be a sense that contentment won't be there. Now, even while those who are practicing Krishna consciousness for ages, it's not that they are all the time contented. Sometimes they are spiritually discontented also. They want to spread far and wide, which is good. But you will realize that for one whose sadhana is reducing, on a daily level, you'll find, in Hindi we use the word chidchidapan, which means crankiness. There'll be emotional crankiness. There will be crankiness related to money, job, everything, unrest. In medical language, this is called malaise. Have you heard this word? If doctors have no word to describe what the person is feeling, they'll say, oh, he or she is having some malaise issue. General unwell, there is no diagnosable thing. So one will start feeling malaise. So an astute spiritualist is very much aware. He has installed meters in his heart, kindness meter. The moment he's unkind towards others, he or she, they'll figure out, what did I do? And if this sadhana is good, you'll find this beaming with kindness, spreading love, sharing one's own successes with others. And one more important thing is that he won't feel envious towards others, he or she. So see, there are many factors, and these are all the qualities listed in Bhagavad Gita. Adveshta sarvabhutanam. One who does not agitate others and one who is not agitated by others. So these are all the qualities, and we can at least first read about them. And then when they are at the back of the mind, when our sadhana is going down and we see effects on these qualities, we can quickly say, it's not the trunk I have to work on, it's not the fruits I have to work on, I have to work on the roots. That's how sportsmen people triangulate their performance. Back to, this is saying in America, back to basics, right? One in cricket and all, you don't have to change your bat. You just go and do net practice. You're missing that net practice, isn't it? Does that help you?
Still some confusion with the mental development versus spiritual. How do we differentiate? Some ambiguity.
See, it's in limited time, I could only explain so much. In mental also, there is a psychological and there's clinical. If it is clinical, you go to a doctor, but it's psychological. It's more related to our behavioral lifestyle. We are living in more mode of passion and ignorance and not goodness, right? But spiritual is dealing with at the level of our soul and our relationship to Lord. At the level of mental, it is how we are dealing with our mental apparatus, mind, intelligence, self, false ego, right? Yeah. At least I can explain it this way. That's okay? Okay. Spiritual means it's at the level of soul, Krishna, and our relationship with them. At the level of mind, it is our thought process, isn't it? Okay. But correcting the spiritual health will have a lot of effect correcting the mental health and physical health also. That's okay? All right. More thoughts, comments? Any other effect? Yes, please. Mandala, good. That's first I would say prayers. Let's pray to the Supreme Divine Being that He and Radharani Shi, they send us good friends. First prayer. Second prayer is that give us the intelligence that I don't waste away that good friendship which you send. Because sometimes it's not the first issue, it's the second issue. We don't recognize. The life is so fast that even if some goodies are sent to us, we just cast them away. Okay, so prayers are important because it's not a chat GPT issue. In the sense, it's not technological issue. The friend will be right there at that particular position and he or she will look like that. It's mystical, isn't it? How people come together in the world is very mystical. Why it is mystical? Because it is arranged through karma and it's arranged through the desire of the Lord and our free will. So many factors are in play. Since it is mystical, we have to first pray. Second, be the friend to everyone what you want your friend to be to you. Let me repeat. Be the friend to everyone what you want your friend to be to you. Sometimes we feel, nobody loves me. Wait, try loving others. Maybe you'll find that person who will love you. It's a very simple equation. And in fact, spiritualists and psychologists give this advice also. Suppose you want a friend who should ask you 20 times in a day, how is your health? Better you start doing this to your close acquaintances, and maybe you'll find one who will ask you. You see, it's very simple. And then, third is begin with the lot assigned to you. Maybe your inner close family, maybe some friends which have come in contact with you. Let's begin with them. And be detached also. Maybe it will work with them, it will not work with them. Yeah. Does it help you? This, yeah. So first prayers, because it's a mystical process. Second, let's mold ourselves in the way we want, because we all think in a particular way. Our friend should be that, our friend should be that way. And third is begin with the lot we already have. Yeah. And then maybe, and it takes time, 5, 10, 20, sometimes 50 years to cement that friendship, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Thank you. More Aarti time? Okay. Thank you for your attention, and I feel honored and been given this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees. Harivamsa Prabhu has also written a book called Horizons. Arisha, can you maybe take it from the box and show everybody? So Horizons is a collection of short stories with lessons from Bhagavad Gita, other literatures. Can you hold it up higher maybe? Thank you. And it's on the backdrop of all the holy places, Vrindavan, other holy places in India. And it's just a very fun way to open up and read some of the crucial lessons from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prabhu has these books. We are selling them for $10 at cost. So if you would like, please come talk with Shivam or Nitin Prabhu. He's sitting in the back. My other announcement is that we have Youth Jam every Friday, typically at 7 p.m. Today, due to the festival, we did it a bit earlier. Youth Jam is a place where youth come together to inquire, to participate in kirtan, association, friendships, like Prabhu mentioned how important association and sangha are. It's a place where we're trying to build a community of youth in the congregation who are interested in not only building their Krishna conscious prowess, but also prowess outside of the temple. So if you're interested in Youth Jam or joining the WhatsApp group, please let me know. I'll add you to the WhatsApp group for announcements. And finally, in August 9th to 11th, we have a youth retreat coming up in Concrete, Washington. It is for anybody in 8th grade and above. Again, it's a wonderful way to really work on building sangha relationships outside of the temple, so it's that we can find our group of people, our group of friends where we can feel loved, such that we have the love to share with others in the community and continue our efforts as the next generation here in Seattle. Yeah, no hard limit, but maybe until college or so. Yeah. That being said, thank you so much, everybody, for coming to today's Youth Jam. We'll end with 3 Haribols for Harivamsa Prabhu. Haribol! 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 Srila Prabhupada. Yes, and now we will have Gora Arti, so everybody can stand for that.